Hey guys, it's Steven here and welcome back to another Chinese smartphone review, and today we're going to have a look at the UMI Emax Mini. So actually the UMI Emax Mini is not really from UMI, so it's a rebrand from the TCL 3S, and well, the 3S had some problems, and so far as I see, they're not here on the UMI Emax Mini, like overheating and all that, but I think it's a pretty good phone, and today I want to show you that one. So it's from eworkshop.com. As always, there's a link down below in the description, so make sure you check it out. And now let's get directly started and let's have a closer look at the specs of this little baby. Now guys, here are the specs of the UMI Emax Mini. A bit hard to read here on the package, but basically it comes with a 5-inch display, full HD resolution, and it's from Sharp and looks very good. So the display is outstanding. The system on chip, it's the Qualcomm Snapdragon 615 clocked at 1.5 GHz. We all know the Snapdragon 615 can actually do 1.7 GHz, but in the TCL 3S it caused overheating, and now it runs only at 1.5 GHz here in the UMI Emax Mini. Still a great performance, 30K in Antutu, something like that, but the overheating issue is now fixed. 2 GB of RAM plus 16 GB of ROM, and 13 megapixel rear camera plus 8 megapixel front-facing camera. Well, not really sure if it's not interpolated, and Android 5.0 system straight out of the box. The only downside so far is that the LTE band B20 is missing. So if you're in Germany, you will probably won't have LTE. So that's the only bad thing so far, but the specs here are very good for the price of around 130 euro. Now guys, once again, let me show you what you can find inside of the box. There is one unboxing on my channel, so make sure you check it out if you want to see some details. So it comes with a quick starter guide, Emax Mini, just a couple of pictures on where to find the buttons, how to turn it on, so kinda useless. Then here we have the micro USB charging cable, and it's micro USB and not USB Type-C like the most UMI phones right now. But here you can see golden contacts on the USB 2.0 connector, and here the micro USB port also looks kinda decent with the UMI branding. It's a flat cable, rubberized, and feels pretty good, around 70 centimeters long. Okay, then let's have a look at the charger, which I also tested for a while, but well, there is no quick charging, so the output is 1 amp, 5 volts, so that's 5 watts, and the charging time is kinda long, so over 2.5 hours. And here we have the USB port, as you can see, straight in. Charger looks okay, but actually I always replace the China chargers with some quality charger here I have at home. Okay, so that's what you can find in the basic package, but for sure there's also one case included, so it depends on which package you buy. So here that's some silicone rubber case here with some semi-transparent back cover. Looks pretty okay to me, and also gives the phone some nice protection. So at least way better than the UMI flip covers, which you have to glue to the backside of your back cover. Backside of your smartphone. I'm a bit confused today. Okay, so that's what you can find inside of the package, and now I would say let's go and let me show you the smartphone a little bit more in detail. Now ladies and gentlemen, here's the UMI Emax Mini, and my first impression, so the first feeling when I had it in my hands was, hey, that phone is really handy, and holy crap, have a look at the display, because the display is looking outstanding. Now colors, viewing angles, contrast, everything, this display is really nice. Then on maximum brightness, it's also kind of bright, and you can easily read this display here outside. So just check this out guys, this is very colorful and a great experience. So it looks like an S AMOLED display in my S6 Edge, and on 5 inches full HD resolution gives you also some nice pixel density. So I have to say, honestly, this is one of the best looking displays I've ever seen in a China phone. So it looks absolutely outstanding, and it's definitely the best part on the UMI Emax Mini. And they say it's a display from Sharp, and I can say yes, it must be in Sharp display because it looks really, really good. Okay, then let's get started with the size and the front side here. So here you can see the display. The bezel is not too thick, 4mm on each side, completely in black, that's something I like. It's really handy, so I have big hands, but the size is, yeah, it's actually perfect, almost a little bit too small for me. Then at the bottom we have capacitive touch buttons, in the middle we have the home button, and the home button has no backlight, but it's kind of silver and reflects the light, so it looks like it would light up, but nope. But we have backlight here on the menu button, which is on the right side. I wish on the right side there would be the back button, but you can't change it here in the basic settings, so you would have to mod that. And here on the left side, yeah, we have the back button. Okay, then let's have a closer look at the top of the device. Here we have a notification LED, which looks really, really good because it's colorful and it's also very strong. It's placed in the right top corner. Then here we have the front-facing camera, which is also quite good, by the way. In the middle, the earpiece, and on the left side we have light and proximity sensor. Okay, now let's turn the phone around. So while the backside of the UMI Emax Mini has some very nice pattern, which you can also feel, and it feels pretty good and gives you some nice grip. Maybe it looks a bit strange here because of the camera focus, but well, here we have the UMI logo, as you can see, in silver. Then here we have the single LED flash, which looks kind of small, but it's not too weak. And here in the middle we have probably some microphone for the rear camera. Here we have the rear camera, and that's basically it. So the back cover is detachable. We'll just put it off in a second, but first of all, let's check out the frame. The frame is made out of plastic, so actually the whole phone is made out of plastic, and at the top of the phone we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which goes a little bit into the back cover. Okay, then let's have a look at the bottom side, and here we have the micro USB port to charge it, and we have something which looks like a dual speaker design, but this is not a dual speaker, so it's a single speaker, and in the other basically speaker grid we have the bottom microphone. Okay, that's it here from the frame. Then let's have a look at the buttons. The buttons are placed on the right side of the frame, and the frame, as you can see, it's black, and yeah, it looks a little bit like metal due to the silver face there, but nope, this is completely made out of plastic. The buttons, they feel good to press, so we have here the power button. Yeah, it's a little bit wobbly, but not really much. It's a plastic button, so they're all like this, and the volume button, which is a single button, so down and up, feels really good. It's very stiff, but also the power button, as you can see, is very responsive, so that's something I like, if the display goes directly on when you press it. Okay, then let's remove the back cover, and you can do it here in the left bottom corner, so there's a little slot, and there we go. And here on the inside we have something which looks like an anti-radiation sticker. This, someone said it means do not peel off. Yeah. Okay, here you can see the phone from the inside, and you have a detachable back cover, but just to access the slots. So you can't remove the battery. And the battery says here 3050 milliamp hours, and I've measured it, and I have to say, UMI is this time honest, so the battery has really 3050 milliamp hours, and I'll just show you my measurements in a second. Okay, at the bottom, as I've said, we have the speaker. Then here we have the micro SD card port, and I currently have here a 64GB SanDisk SD card in there, and it works like a charm, so no problem with the SD card. Here we have one SIM card slot, here another one, so both are micro SIM card slots, and yeah, works pretty nice with my SIM card, but unfortunately the LTE band B20 is missing. Okay, that's basically it, nothing you can do, so battery is not removable, and now I would say I will just put on the back cover again, and then we'll just turn on the phone. Actually, it should be on because we didn't remove the battery, and let's check out Android 5.1 on the smartphone. Right, here are my measurements regarding the battery capacity. We have a USB meter, and this is for sure before the charging circuit of the smartphone. So we get here a reading of 3164. Now for sure there's power being wasted in the charging circuit while charging the battery. So my formula is actually taking that value, which is before the charging circuit, then calculating it into watt hours. That means times 5. Because it's at 5 volts, dividing by the battery voltage, and then multiplying with an efficiency of, let's say, 80% to get some idea of the real capacity, and this is around 3050 milliamp hours. So this time the battery capacity is really correct, so thanks UMI for being honest at least once. Now we just talked about the battery capacity, but let's also talk a little bit about the battery runtime. So I did here a Geekbench free battery test. This was with dim display, with SIM card inside and getting notifications. So it survived 4 hours and 40 minutes. So, well, the battery lifetime could be a little bit better. Now, I had no problems to come through the day, but just here in the benchmark, it's not so nice. Yeah, just keep in mind, it's 5 inches with a big battery, but it's still powering a full HD display, and the Snapdragon 615 is also, yeah, not the best chipset, so a little bit of a waster. And yeah, as you can see, 4 hours, 40 minutes, which is quite okay, will power you through the day, but I guess most people will have to recharge every day, which you also have to do on most smartphones. Now let's check out the weight of the smartphone. So a 5-inch smartphone, let's check it out, and there we go. It's 130 grams, which is a pretty good weight for a 5-inch smartphone. It's really not too heavy, it's kind of small, fits in everyone's pocket, and that's a pretty good thing. Now I don't care about the size, so maybe if it's half a millimeter bigger or smaller, so you can find the dimensions down below in the description, but they should be almost correct. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now here in Android 5.02 and not 5.1, so sorry, I made a little mistake and mixed it up. But well, the ROM is very clean. Now when you get it, it doesn't come with a lot of junk pre-installed, so just all the necessary stuff. And yeah, also the whole UI, it's very responsive. Now if you lock the screen, if you unlock it, that's really fast and a very nice experience. So let's go quickly here to the settings and let's see what we can find here. Now here under About the Phone, we can see that it's running Android version 5.02, so no 5.1 right now. And you know, UMI with software updates, so there are a lot of hate posts on Facebook because software updates are kind of slow. So I'm not really sure if you will see or when you will see the next update here for the UMI Emax Mini. Okay, but as you can see, you can do system updates from storage or Octa updates, but so far there was no ODA update right now, but they are supported. Okay, so let's have a look here at Wi-Fi. Now Wi-Fi should support dual band. As you can see, my 5 GHz network is also there with a bit lower signal. It even finds the network of my neighbor. Now Wi-Fi is okay, could be a little bit better regarding the range, but can still keep up with a lot of phones. Like for instance, the iPhone 5 of my father has about the same Wi-Fi range. Just some of my Android devices like the S6 have a bit more range. Okay, that's it. A 5 GHz band is working. We can go back here, and here you can see Bluetooth in here. Now the only thing I've noticed with Bluetooth, I had it in my car, so I streamed music, and it somehow sounded flat. I've never experienced that. So actually the same MP3 sounded different from two smartphones. Not really sure if there's something in the ROM which really made it sound flat, like an equalizer or something like that. Very strange, but Bluetooth was working and the range was also okay. Here we have gestures, as you can see, so double tap to wake up or also to get the screen on again, turn over to mute, which is kind of useful, and turn over to activate, for instance, the alarm. Okay, then there we go. Let's have a look at display settings. As you can see, there is no mirror vision inside, but we have here Wi-Fi display. So screencast. Then the next thing we have here, it's the lock screen, but well, there is nothing special inside, so there's no eye scanner, there is no fingerprint unlock, so you just have all the basic things, and this is really okay for the price. Here we have the LED indicator. That's basically the notification LED, and yeah, it lights up and works pretty good if you get notifications. I can show you later the light manager. And sorry, here we have storage. So let's check out the memory, and it comes with one big partition, so it's 16 gigabytes, and here you can see 11 gigabytes of total space and usable something like 10. Okay, then let's go back here, and here we have the battery stats. Now, as you have seen before, it was okay to get through the day, and it was 4.5 hours in Geekbench, but with the display completely dimmed. So well, let's go back here. Then here we have apps running in the background. Now, as I've said before, the phone comes with 2 gigabytes of RAM. So here we can see the memory consumption of the ROM. So this is less than 50% because we still have around 1.1 gigabyte of free RAM. And I would say this is definitely enough to also run applications, do multitasking, and also run some 3D games. Okay, that's regarding apps. Then here we have language and input, and here you can see the different languages. It's not the full Android language pack, so there's German, there's just normal German, and you see some things are missing, so there are not too many languages in here, but all the most important languages, you can now see them here on the screen, should be supported. Okay, so let's go back. That's regarding the languages, and that's everything we can find here in the settings. Okay, then let's have a look here at the Android status bar. As always, here you should have your notifications, and here we have the quick toggles. The display is very bright, now maximum brightness. We have here Wi-Fi. I'm connected to my home network. As I've said before, the Wi-Fi range is okay, could be a little bit better, Bluetooth fully working. We also have here a flashlight, we have a hotspot button, which is really cool, and Wi-Fi display. So if you want to mod that, sure you can do it, but it's not really built in to do it easily, so you would have to do that on your own. Okay guys, then now let's talk about call quality. So I did several calls, and there we go. We can also call here some popular hotline here in Austria, 147. So there we go. And I can show you here that the sensors are working. So light and proximity sensors working perfectly nice from the range like about actually it's less, it's 2 centimeters, and then the display turns black. Then here's the speaker, and I have to say the speaker is really the worst part. So it's not really loud here in call mode, and also not really clear. So yeah, speakers actually suck a bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, regarding the signal quality, now sometimes I had some small signal drops sometimes, but not really something massive. I was just driving outside of city, but all in all I have to say the signal quality was okay. The earpiece quality is okay, but the loudspeaker quality was not really good. And we'll later also do a speaker test so you can hear it with some music playback. Okay, next thing is the menu, so we can see all the pre-installed applications. Just first, before we do that, here the UI, basic UI, as you can see, basic launcher with wallpaper widgets. As always, you can install a different launcher if you don't like it. Okay, so we're here in the menu, so it's some very basic menu, and all the things here were pre-installed, so all the important stuff. And I would say, let's go to the first important application, which is the camera. And let's go outside to do a quick camera test here on the UMI Emax Mini. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now here outside in my garden, and here's a quick camera test on the UMI Emax Mini. So that's the camera application. Looks kind of strange, but we have here the LED flash adjustment on the left side. We can switch here to the front-facing camera, and as you can see, this is a really nice wide angle. So getting myself in the picture is not a problem at all here. And looks also very good here. We can take a selfie for China devices. Smile. Okay, let's go back here. Oh, sorry, I just closed it. On-screen buttons, and well, we can switch here to the rear camera once again, and here on the upper side you have the video mode. Here the shutter is quite fast, just a little bit of delay, so almost no shutter delay. Then here you can see every time the circle rotates, it's refocusing, and sometimes it doesn't really properly refocus, so here it really takes quite a while to refocus, and you see still blurry, so the focus is not really the best. Now if you focus manually it's okay, but sometimes I really have focusing problems that it still stays very blurry, even if it's here in the mid. Okay, we can go here to different modes. We have auto mode, HDR, panorama, not really the best, manual mode, so you can adjust ISO and everything, that's pretty good. Time-lapse, scanner, face beauty. So let's switch it to manual mode, for instance, and here you have the sliders for white balance, ISO, whatever you want to. Okay, then let's close this. I'm not really sure how. Maybe that button? Yeah. Okay, then we can go here to the settings, and here we have the camera settings. So here the picture size, and in 16:9 it's 10 megapixels, and it's only 13 megapixels in 4:3. As always, we have exposure settings, and here you can see the maximum recording dimension of the rear camera is full HD. If you switch to 720p, there's also no slow motion or whatever, so you can just switch here between the resolution. Sound recording and electronic image stabilization as always in here, and here also in 4:3. I will just capture some samples, and they will all be on chinadevices.com. Okay, so that's basically it. We can also, for instance, switch back to the front-facing camera and go to the settings just very quickly, and here you can see that the maximum picture size here is 8 megapixels, but also only in 4:3. So if you want to have 16:9, it drops down to 5 megapixels, and the maximum recording dimension of the front-facing camera is full HD. But I have to say, cameras look really quite okay on the UMI Emax Mini. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick back camera video test on the UMI Emax Mini. We're using electronic image stabilization, maximum recording dimension of full HD. Well, a bit of stuttering when we move it, but looks kinda okay. Now just check it out on the computer here for yourself. We have an automatic focus, but you can also focus manually, like if I focus here on the house in the background. Now the lighting adjustment is okay. Works also kind of fast, a bit of stuttering due to the image stabilization, which is not really the best. Now let's go a little bit around, maybe let's have a look at some close-ups too, and there we go. And yeah, let's try to focus here on the flower, and let's check out also the colors. Now this is some very nice pink tone, but yeah, the camera has sometimes really problems to focus properly, and we are currently using here the LED flash, so it looks a little bit more white. And yeah, as you can see, the macro distance, I'm holding it here like 7 centimeters away from the flower. More is not really possible, otherwise the camera can't really focus anymore. Okay, then let's quickly go inside so I can show you the camera in low light conditions. What I don't like so much is that the focus is kind of slow sometimes. So actually it should focus now automatically, but it's still very blurry. And then I have to use the tap focus, and sometimes the focus just doesn't focus, so it's a bit slow sometimes. Okay, so let's go here inside. The LED flash is currently on, and yeah, the LED flash looks kind of strong, but still can't here light up the whole room. On my S6 Edge, it's not really much stronger, but somehow with also the aperture and software optimization, it can light up almost the whole room. So that's how it looks in a complete dark room with the LED flash, but looks good, no distortion of the colors. So if you take pictures or videos of objects which are near, like my hand here, that's absolutely no problem. But as you can see, if you want to film something in the background, well, that's not possible anymore. But so far, so good. Camera performance on the UMI Emax Mini is really quite okay. Now guys, here's a quick front-facing camera test on the UMI Emax Mini. We're currently here outside. And the front-facing camera, there's absolutely no distortion, also if I just move it around really fast. The maximum recording dimension, as you've seen before, is Full HD. Face beauty mode working, face tracking working. Things in the background, now just check it out on the computer, so if you can see some details, a little bit of noise in the background, but still looks very good. So far with the front-facing camera here in video mode, I'm actually quite pleased, and it's nice and wide angle. Holding it now 60 centimeters away from my body and can get myself easily on the picture. So that looks good here on the UMI Emax Mini. Alright guys, just had a look at the pictures on the computer. Rear camera shoots with a 2.2 aperture, front-facing camera with a 2.8 aperture. And selfies and videos from the front-facing camera look super awesome. Rear camera, well, average, not quite bad, so also not too good. You can check out the sample pictures on chinadevices.com. Okay, so the cameras, not too bad at all. Then now let's go back here to the menu. As you can see, it comes with all the Google apps pre-installed, so you don't have to worry. Latest Google framework, the Play Store also in there, so just get your Google account and there you go. And you can really download all the applications, so the phone doesn't say incompatible version or whatever, so just go and download whatever you want to. Okay, that's regarding the Play Store. It also comes with an FM radio, but there is no headset included with the smartphone. And yeah, we have here system updates, what we have seen before, and Wi-Fi display, so there's some app for that in there, so that's basically it. Super Cleaner was pre-installed, but honestly, you don't really need that application. And here in that update application, you can see software's up to date. So current firmware version 5.02, 0.10.01, so just as comparison. Okay, now that's it. So there was no over-the-air update right now, and I can't really tell you, so sometimes UMI is a bit slow with providing updates. So they released a roadmap, but still not too many things have been released. Okay, that's regarding the UI menu. It's very snappy, as you can see, so absolutely smooth experience. That's something I really like. And now I would say, let's do a quick LED flash test, speaker test, some other tests, and after all this you will hear my final conclusion about it. Here's a quick speaker test on YouTube, no copyright sounds, and well, for sure it depends with what you feed the smartphone, so on YouTube it's not the best quality and loudness, but we can just do it as a quick test, and there we go. So the sound is only coming out of the right speaker hole, so as you can see when I cover it, sound is gone, and here nothing happens. So we have a single speaker here on the right side, and it sounds, it sounds a little bit distorted at really maximum volume and also a bit flat. And there we go, let's skip forward. So yeah, it's okay, it's not really a terrible speaker, but it's also nothing to get excited about. Okay, that was the speaker here on the UMI Emax Mini, and the 3.5mm headphone jack, I've tried it with two headsets, and I have to say quality is kinda okay, just like on every other smartphone. As always, here's also a quick LED flash test, and there we go. And yeah, the LED flash is not too strong, so barely lights up here the area 30 centimeters above the table. And yeah, here you can see it's a single one, and it's very white, so that's a cool white tone. Looks okay, it's not too strong as you can see. And we can quickly capture a picture. Where's the camera? Alright, here, and there we go. So you can see the shutter time in complete darkness with the LED. And we have to turn the LED on here at the top, and there we go. So as you can see, the focus is sometimes really slow, but there we go. Let's capture a photo, and that's really fast. So I really want to see the result, and there we go. So not too slow actually, and we can quickly go to the gallery and check this out. And the sample picture will also be on chinadevices.com. So as you can see here in the corners, it's a bit dark, so the LED flash is not the strongest one. But well, if you take pictures of things which are not too far away, like 30 centimeters, 50 centimeters, it's okay. But for anything more than that, well, it's too weak. So So guys, here's a quick GPS test on the UMI Emax Mini. We are currently here outside of Vienna. This is the GPS test application. The sky is pretty much clear. We have 17 satellites in view. We have 9 to 10 in use, always depends, loses and regains signal. But here you can see it maintains a steady 3D fix. We have an accuracy of 16 feet right now, so around 4 to 5 meters. And yeah, looks very good, because if you have a look at the signal bars, a lot of green signal bars, which means very good signal, and only a couple of the yellow ones. We can also have a look at the Android's GPS test application, and there we go. So here you can see the signal, and this looks very, very good too. So I'm very pleased with the GPS signal. And we can go here to the map, and here you can see we have 8 American satellites, so normal GPS. We have Russian ones, 4 to 5 to 6, so that is GLONASS, and it also found some Chinese ones, but yeah, the signal here is very weak in Central Europe, so it just connected to 2 Chinese satellites, so Baidu is also working. That's really great. So the GPS performance on the UMI Emax Mini is definitely nice. The signal looks very good. It keeps the 3D fix, finds it also very fast, and the accuracy is below 10 meters here when you drive usually around 50 to 100 kilometers per hour. So that's very good here on the UMI Emax Mini. Alright guys, then here's the navigation test with Sidechick offline navigation, and we'll just now pick a wrong road. So let's drive here to the right, and there we go. So the 2 roads here are very close together. I just want to see how accurate the signal is. So we're actually here on the right road, not on the first road. Okay, so it doesn't detect it, so it still thinks we're here on the left road, and I would say it's in a radius of 5 meters, so that's in the accuracy. Then we're now driving here to the right, so let's see how long it takes until it detects that we're here on the right road, and there we go. So yeah, a couple of seconds. Okay, now it jumps over. So I would say the radius accuracy is something like 10 meters. Actually quite good for navigation. Not too accurate, but really good. Okay, so it maintains a steady 3D fix all the time. I'm actually driving around now for some time, and also I've used it during the week. And also if we drive faster, so let's accelerate a little bit here. You see, it keeps the signal, so that's pretty good. Okay. Let's stop here at the road, and then we'll drive to the right. So I have to say, navigation on the UMI Emax Mini, it's not the best. It's not the best GPS performance. I've actually seen some phones with MTK chipset performing a bit better and more accurate. But yeah, it's definitely usable. And now it's a little bit stuck because we're not taking the predicted road. We were driving to the right. But as you can see, it detects when you're on the wrong road. It takes some time to reroute, but it works pretty good for basic navigation. And yeah, that's GPS on the UMI Emax Mini. So ladies and gentlemen, the benchmarks are finished, and here are the results. So first of all, I've got 30,000 points. Then I did run the benchmark several times again, but I was never able again to reach 30k, so it's something between 26 and 30k points. So in comparison to other devices, this is like 60% of the performance of a Galaxy Note 4. It's actually quite okay. It's not some very good score. It's not some totally bad score like the MTK 6735. But well, it's quite usable. It runs Android 5.02, so not 5.1.1, and fully 64-bit support, as you can see. Now the Snapdragon 615 in here with the Adreno 405 GPU, full HD resolution display. Yeah, it clocks from 800 up to 1.5 GHz, so not 1.7. And here you can see the GPU clock, dots per inch. Well, okay, let's close on Tutor and let's have a look at the Geekbench 3 test. And yeah, I have to rerun it because I did clear my RAM before. The Geekbench 3 benchmark is finished. We get a single core score of around 650 and a multi-core score of around 1900 to 2000. Okay, here you can see once again the specs, so clocked at 1.5 GHz with 1.85 GB of RAM. If we check out the stage fright detector, as you can see, it can be infected by stage fright, and that's not so good, so this can be improved. I hope there's an update, but well, updates on UMI phones are not so often. Then let's have a look at the speed test results, and there we go. So here's the application. I did some tests, and here you can see basically between 10 and 17 Mbits on 3G, because 4G won't work here in my country, and here the upload with 4 Mbits, so that's also quite okay for 3G speeds. Okay, CPU-C, and there we go. So let's check out what we can see here regarding the chipset. So the Snapdragon 615 contains here 2 cores, actually, a Cortex A53 and a lower clock Cortex A53. So one is running here with 1.5 GHz and the other one, other quad core is running at 1.11 GHz. And well, this helps power saving, but also we don't get the full potential of the Snapdragon 615, which is usually capable of 1.7 GHz. Okay, GPU clock speed here, maximum 550. Let's check out here the device info, so nothing special in here. Let's check out system, and oh man, I hate this damn ad so much. Oh, wrong button, because I'm usually used to the right one as back button. This is so kinda annoying here. Yeah, no root access as you can see, and oh my goodness. And here, yeah, the temperatures. As you can see, it gets a bit warm. We have here almost 60 degrees, so you can also feel it. After doing benchmarks in gaming, it's kind of warm on the backside. And yeah, it does not overheat, but also it does not keep very cool, so it gets quite warm though. Okay, regarding the sensors, it's better to check out sensor box, and here you can see that we have all the important sensors here inside. Also a gyroscope, which is fully working, and a magnetic sensor, which is also fully working. So here you can see, yeah, the values, and yeah, it goes up to 200 if I put it near the computer, for instance. Then here a gyroscope, and this also works, that's pretty cool. And we have all the basic sensors like accelerometer, light, orientation, proximity, and sound sensor. Okay guys, now that are basically the benchmarks. The notification LED, it only lights up in that shiny blue purple light, so you can't change it, it's not multicolor, and I'll just show you here the notification light and then we'll do a quick gaming test. Now guys, here's the notification LED. As you can see, it looks really good. It's kind of small but very bright, but unfortunately it's not multicolor, so only that it's not really white, it's actually some kind of purple color with white. Yeah, it looks kind of strange, and the bad thing, it's not multicolor, but at least there is one notification LED. Now yeah guys, the Snapdragon 615, all along with the Adreno GPU, it's not the best performer, especially when downclocked to 1.5 GHz. And we're playing here Asphalt 8, and it's in full HD display, so well, the GPU has to power some very high resolution display, and you can notice that there is some small amount of lag in the game, also some FPS drops, stuttering. So it's okay most of the time, but sometimes there is just a huge FPS drop then, and it stutters just for a short amount of time, and you especially see it when you're among other cars, and if there are many other players, or in Modern Combat 5 if there are many enemies, so if it has a lot to render. Now for casual gaming, yeah, it's okay, you see it's playable, but it's not so much fun than on my other high-end devices like OnePlus 2 or whatever. So you definitely see that it struggles a bit with the full HD display when you play graphic intense games. Still, it's okay for gaming, and yeah, if you're a casual gamer, no problem at all. If you're a hardcore gamer, you will probably get annoyed by the lag in some games like Re-Racing 3, Riptide 2 or Modern Combat 5. But for me, I would say it's okay because I don't play too much on that phone. So we're now here at the end of this review, and here comes my final conclusion about the UMI Emax Mini. So I still think it's a good device, so let's talk about the good things. Now, first of all, the display. It looks so outstanding, full HD resolution in 5 inches and with that contrast colors. It's always beautiful to look at that screen. Everyone I show that screen, they say it's super nice. Then well, the size and the design, it looks very classy, and I actually like the design. I just don't like that you can't remove the battery that's integrated, but at least the battery capacity is real. You have an okay battery lifetime, so 1 day should be okay for the most people. And yeah, GPS performance looked also quite good, as you did see in the GPS tests. The only bad things, yeah, LTE band B20 is missing, so if you have an LTE contract and you're in Germany, then keep your hands off. Same goes for other countries in Europe. You have to check if B20 is needed, but B7 should be in there. Okay, then another bad thing is that the Snapdragon is downclocked. Maybe that's a good thing, because otherwise the phone would probably overheat a little bit. Now, I have to say it gets a bit warm though. I felt it when I was gaming, and you did see the temperatures from the sensors or the readings. And yeah, if you're into heavy 3D gaming, then you have to deal with it, that gets a bit warm. Now, if you're a casual player or you actually don't play on a smartphone, as a business phone, this would be great. For people who are not using the phone for gaming, just they want to have some nice look, some nice display, then well, go for it. That's a really good choice. The battery lifetime is also okay to get you through the day. The cameras are nice, so for taking selfies, the front-facing camera looks very good to me. The rear camera, well, average, but also not too bad. So all in all, the UMI Emax Mini, I also like the old UMI Emax, even though it also had some problems. So, well, it's UMI, guys, it's not some high-end, flagship company. But still, it's a great phone. I enjoyed testing it, and you can find the link as always down below in the description, and the written review if I forgot something here, and the final conclusion on ChinaDevices.com. So guys, thank you so much for watching, have a nice day, and see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.